Question 3, the first term of a geometric sequence is 12. And you can see I've written this down. This is 12 in the first spot. And the third term is 108. So the first thing it says fill in the missing term. So this tells me that it's a geometric sequence. That means I'm progressing forward by using multiplication. So if I look at this a little bit, the deal is I'm starting with 12 and I need to multiply by some value. I'll just call it x1 two times, right? Because I'm going to jump once and twice. And if I start with my 12 and I multiply by x, this value twice, my common ratio twice, I should land at the number 108. A nice way of looking at this is literally this is 12 times x squared equals 108. I can divide both sides of this by 12. So I have here x squared is 108 over 12, and I'm sorry to say that that's not ringing a bell, so let me look at it. 108 divided by 12 is 9. Okay, so x squared is the number 9. Well, that's nice because x would be one of two things. X could be positive 3 or negative 3. Ooh, that's kind of tricky. Because it could be the case that this is alternating between positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, positive, negative. Um, we'll talk about that more later. For now, I'm just going to say the value of x is 3. Because here's the honest truth, right? If I take 12 and I multiply it by a negative 3 and then another negative 3, I get 108. But as I also take 12 and I multiply it by a 3 times a 3, I also get positive 108. So what I'm pointing out here is there's actually two answers that I would have accepted. They would have been just fine, right? Your common ratio could be 3 or it could be positive 3. And to be honest, there's not enough information here to narrow it down. So if you were to put these alternating numbers as negatives, that would be fine. But 12 times 3 is 36 in the case that my ratio is positive 3. If I take the 108 and I multiply that by 3, I think I get 324. And then 324 times 3, I just did this on my calculator off screen, is 972. So these are the values of the sequence. I filled them all in. I go from 12 to 36 to 108, 324, and then 927. So if I want to write the explicit rule for this sequence, I'm going to calculate the 0th term. Again, we see we proceed forward by multiplying by 3. So if I want to figure out the 0th term, I'm going to divide by 3. 12 divided by 3 is the number 4. So I guess I'll write this I'll use this t of n notation. So if I want to know the value at any spot in this sequence, all I need to do is give it the value n that I want. And what it's going to do is it's going to multiply 4, my 0th term, times my multiplier raised to the nth power. And this is tracking, the beauty of this is tracking how many times I've multiplied by 3. So if n is 1, I've multiplied by 1, 3. If n is 2, I've multiplied by 3, 3. If n is 3, there's 3 factors of 3, 3, 3, 3. And it's starting out with the 4 at the beginning. So y equals 4 times, or t of n equals y. T of n equals 4 times 3 to the nth power is the explicit rule for this sequence.